So I previously customized these Air Force Ones for my daughter for the first day of school. They've been through it a little bit. And if you'd like to see how I'm going to transform them into some completely revamped birthday shoes, keep watching this video. Hey YouTube. So I am going to be revamping these shoes. Let's just do a little walkthrough and see what we're working with here. I customized these shoes for my daughter back in August. This was my first time doing them. I'll try to link the video in the description so you can see the original video. They were really cute, but as you can see, due to wear and tear, they're a little dirty, some scuffs. Some of the paint came off a little bit. These were originally all white, and I had a couple ideas of what I wanted to do. Not exactly sure, but the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and take these shoestrings out and give these shoes a good scrubbing with these Brillo Basics from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to take a little bit of warm water, wet the shoes up, and then you'll just see me kind of spray on some of this Brillo Basics dish soap. And I'm going to clean them because I like to work with a shoe that's, clean. They've been all on the ground and everything. I'm going to put some of this dish liquid on them and try to get some of that dirt off. So that's the first step. I'm going to give them a nice scrub. And even if you're not customizing some shoes, to keep them looking decent, at least clean the soles. We try to make sure our children keep their shoes clean and look decent. On Air Force Ones or most shoes, that midsole area is the first to get pretty dirty. So just a nice gentle scrub with soap and water pretty much does help that out. Okay, so during editing, for some reason, this clip was a little choppy. So if it freezes up or you can't really see what's going on, I'm scrubbing this shoe really good with soap and water. And it's looking a lot better and cleaner. So that's what's going on. So hopefully there's no issue there. But just try your best and don't get the inside of the shoe wet. It might look like I'm getting the inside wet, but I'm not. Just the outside. So here you could definitely see the difference. I'm going to start cleaning the second shoe off and do the same thing I did with the first shoe. Okay, so for the next step, my plan is to change the color of the shoes. So I am going to take some 100% pure acetone. I'm sure anyone should work fine. The one I'm using is by Onyx, and I'm using a paper towel, and I'm just kind of rubbing really, really hard to go ahead and get this paint off the shoe. And this paint is Angelus paint. It works very, very well. But if you want it to stay on good and you don't want the paint to come off, don't put any acetone near your shoes. So I'm just going to vigorously go ahead and rub that off. So that's what I'm doing. I really had to put in that work because after a while, my arm was getting a little sore from so much back and forth, but that's what needed to be done. But I wouldn't suggest paper towels. If possible, maybe like a cloth, a microfiber towel or something like that that's a little stronger. These paper towels were kind of getting the job done, but after a while I just felt like I needed something with a little bit more grip. And then wear gloves. You don't want to ruin your nails or get all that acetone on your hands. So you're just going to see me just really scrubbing this paint off the best I can. So I'm still scrubbing, but this time, as you can see, I just took like an old t-shirt, put the acetone on there, just to try to get a little bit more, just something tougher to try to get that paint off. And then I'll use like a little scraper tool to try to get in those corner areas. But it's definitely coming off. Now I was using this scraper. If you decide to do that, be very careful because you don't want to scrape the leather. It was a couple areas I may have made a mistake and scraped the leather off. These were birthday shoes for my my daughter turned 10. So that's what these were for. I waited to the last minute. I got a little nervous because I just didn't see it coming together at first. I thought I was going to have to just go buy another pair of shoes. And I could have bought another pair of shoes. They're like $110 in her size. But I was like, this would be a really good project. I'm going to use the hot pink Angelus paint. I washed the shoes off again after all the acetone and everything. As you can see, yes, there's still paint there. But I felt like that was the best I could do. So this Angelus paint, this particular color, has a really nice full coverage. And I'm just using a nice little paintbrush. I'm just going to paint the midsoles because that's something I always want to do. I always hear it doesn't last, which is true. It does after a while kind of come off. But you can just kind of touch it up as you go along, or maybe not wear them every day. Seal it maybe with the acrylic sealer, but it does kind of chip away a little bit. And I was fine with that. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to paint this whole shoe this color. And you know, we're going to see how it turns out, but that's what I'm doing. I really feel like the shoe is starting to look a lot better. This is one of those situations where I just had to really trust the process. With the Angelus paint, it's good to do very thin layers and just keep coming back and going over it. I may have went on the thicker side, but this also does have really good coverage. Some colors are just more fuller coverage than others, but this one does have a really nice full coverage to it. And I did go over this, I would say at least twice. And to kind of speed the process up, I did use a blow dryer. I don't know if I recorded myself using a blow dryer or not. I can't remember. A lot of this video I had to cut out because this was over like 2.5 hours of footage. I don't know how. Well, of course, it took me a long time to do the shoes, but I didn't want the video to be that long. Obviously, I got it down to about 31 minutes. But it was quite a process. It was quite a process. Now, I didn't paint the entire sole. I've saw that done before. I've seen people mask it off and do like a certain area at the bottom. I just came down a little bit to where when she's walking, you can't see like the line where I stopped. That's why I kind of came down towards the bottom a little bit, but it was never my intent to paint the entire sole. But if you like to do that, go ahead and absolutely feel free to do so. I only had one of this hot pink, and I wanted to also make sure I didn't run out also. But it ended up being more than enough. Okay, this is GAC 900 from Angelus, and this is what I'm going to use to thin out the paint so we can go ahead and get started and paint the inner sole, the sock liner, excuse me, the sock liner. I used a different color. I used like a Tahitian neon pink just to switch it up a little bit. And plus, again, I only had one bottle of the hot pink and I didn't want it to run out. I added a little bit of white to it to make it be a little more, have a little more thickness to it, I guess is why I did that. And not to be so bright, just to kind of tone it down a little bit. So I'm going to mix this up. You want to do equal parts. And yeah, just do equal parts so that you don't have the material inside the shoe like too crusty. Well, not crusty, crunchy. I meant to say crunchy. Oh, and there's my blow dryer. So you'll see me use the blow dryer maybe. But what I'm going to do is just kind of take the brush and just gently dab it on the fabric, because you know sometimes the shoes get a little bit dirty looking. It's not always dirt, but if you wear your Air Force Ones and don't wear socks, and don't mind me, I was filming a short right here. That's why my phone is set up like that right there in the way. It can be oils from your skin. It could be a dirt if you're just jumping in your shoes, and whatever the case, sometimes white gets a little dingy looking. So in order to fix that dinginess, even if you don't do it a color, if you want to do it right back white, you can do that to try to you know, make your Air Force Ones last a little bit longer, or whatever shoes you decide to paint the sock liner. You can go all the way down to the bottom, or you can just do it low enough to where once your foot is in there, you can't tell. So it's definitely up to you. I think I didn't go all the way down to the bottom. It just looks better already. It looks better already. Okay, so let me explain this part. I thought I was going to be adding some fabric to these Air Force Ones. So the way that I was going to kind of make my pattern or my stencil is just using this masking tape and going around the check. I did an okay job, but it could have been better. That was my first time. So I thought I was going to put fabric on the check and on the toe. You know, sometimes you might have an idea and it just doesn't end up going the way you thought. So I just thought I'd still show this just in case if you decided you wanted to put some fabric on there, how you go about making your pattern cutout. The fabric I had that she picked out, we ended up not liking it, so I scrapped the idea, but I left this in the video just, you know, just in case this will still help somebody. So here's some Mod Podge. I'm going to be adding glitter to these shoes. Glitter. Yes, I'm gonna add some glitter to them. My daughter picked out the glitter that she wanted. I have this huge wide 2-inch brush. I should have had a 1-inch brush or just something smaller. So I think what I'll end up doing is using a paintbrush because this was just too bulky. So you could use a paintbrush and you'll apply your Mod Podge only to the areas that you want to add glitter. Now, I'm not the best when it comes to making straight lines and masking stuff off, okay? It would be a lot crispier and better application if you're doing this and you go ahead and mask off the sole. Use an X-Acto knife and just cut that out real good. So I'll get better at that eventually. So what you want to do is add your Mod Podge on, but you want to do it in a way that it's not like lumpy, you know. You don't want to put too much. You want to do like thin coats, thin layers of it so that your glitter lays pretty smooth. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to put glitter all over the shoe. The glitter is going to be like a really pretty sparkly fuchsia. It's not an extra fine glitter, it's just a regular fine, not extra fine. And I got the glitter from papermart.com, but you can get glitter just about anywhere. You can get it from Walmart, you can get it from Michael's, Joann Fabric, Amazon, anywhere. This particular glitter is absolutely gorgeous. It's super cute. I love it. So I'm just going to keep doing the same thing until I have my first coat. Then I'll do a whole second coat. I have this little duster brush to knock off the excess glitter, so that way I can see what I'm doing, knock off the fall off, so I can know where I need to apply the glitter. So we're just going to keep going, add that Mod Podge and add that glitter, and that's what we're doing right now. Okay, so after about maybe 20-30 minutes of letting it sit in front of a fan, you want to go in and add your second coat of glitter. So when you add your second coat, because the glitter is already on the shoe, you don't want to do too much like of a harsh brush motion. You kind of want to like dab it on or like do a little pity pat motion, so you're not like making the glitter move around too much, which it shouldn't, because you'll make sure it's kind of dry and adhere to the shoe first. But Yes, this is going to be the second coat of glitter. Now, if you feel like after 2 coats it still looks like it's too sparse or just not a full enough coverage, go ahead and do a third coverage, a third layer. It's up to you. It's your shoe. Glitter is so fun, but it could be so messy. So I just have a little plastic or paper plate underneath, or sometimes I'll use like a little cardboard box or something to catch the glitter. And then I like to use those puppy pads and have the glitter on that as well. So I'm letting the other shoe dry, and this one I just decided to switch it up a little bit. I'm doing the sock liner first. So I'm starting out with the sock liner first. And then you could take out the shoe liner, like the bottom part of it. You can wash that off, let it air dry if you want to. And again, I cleaned the shoe off. Now I'm adding on the paint. I'm basically going to do the same exact thing I did to the first shoe. I'm just doing it to the second shoe. A lot of that glitter was in the way, so I put this paper towel down so it doesn't get in the way of me adding on this paint. So that's where we are right now. Now, even though doing the shoe was pretty challenging, it made me think about like having a shoe that looks a certain way and being done with it. Like, oh, I don't like this anymore. This kind of gives me hope, and hopefully give other people hope, that if you don't have it like that, you can just revamp your children's shoes or your own shoes. Switch them up. If your shoe is blue and you're not digging that blue anymore, paint them black. Paint them purple. Now, as far as the reverse, oh, there's my blow dryer. Now, on the reverse side, oh, this is the fabric. I have fabric available, myroyalradiance.com if you're interested. If you buy 3 sheets of fabric, I throw in a 4th sheet of fabric, a random sheet, as a gift. But on the reverse side, let's say the glitter was on the shoe first. I probably wouldn't bother with scraping glitter off a shoe. I just don't think I would. If anything, I try to get most of the glitter off and maybe go over that glitter with a different color glitter. Maybe something like that. But anything is possible. If you boil the shoe, you can probably get the glitter off. It depends on what level and extent you're willing to go. Okay, this is the color she picked out. I kind of thought that other lavender, not lavender,
and many more.
Fuchsia,
Please check out my
LV
discount
fabric
code
would be
vibes
okay,
for a special
but no.
discount for my
She didn't like that Gucci one either. I asked her, we looked at it, it was like no. So I had to make a detour.